In Yunnan, China, weeks of relentless rainfall have triggered catastrophic flooding, reshaping the province's landscape and disrupting lives. This report explores the widespread impacts, from infrastructure collapse to economic losses, while weaving in commentary on the resilience of affected communities and the challenges of recovery. Describing the province-wide effects of the floods, the province of Yunnan has faced an onslaught of heavy rain, leading to floods that overwhelmed rivers, carved through mountain valleys, and isolated entire towns. The deluge caused roads to crumble under debris flows, leaving communities cut off from essential supplies and services. The sheer scale of destruction underscores the power of nature and the vulnerability of human infrastructure in mountainous regions. Highlighting the destruction in Newjiang Prefecture, torrents of mud and rock cascaded down slopes, obliterating bridges and narrow mountain paths. At least 16 critical crossings were destroyed or deemed unsafe, severing vital supply lines to villages. Homes along riverbanks were inundated with mud, forcing residents to salvage what little remained of their belongings. The isolation of these communities highlights the fragility of rural infrastructure in the face of extreme weather. Outlining the impact on Ding Prefecture's tourism industry, Ding Prefecture suffered as rockfalls and flooded streams blocked access to major tourist destinations. The Mary's Snow Mountain Zone, a popular attraction, became inaccessible, prompting evacuations of both residents and visitors. With transportation networks halted, local businesses dependent on tourism faced significant financial losses. This disruption serves as a stark reminder of how natural disasters can ripple through local economies. Detailing the severe impacts in Gongshan County bore some of the heaviest damage. The Dulong River surged through town streets, sweeping away vehicles and destabilizing structures. A four-story building collapsed after its foundation eroded, leaving only rubble. Villages like Bingjianglu and Yubang were completely cut off, with every access road destroyed or blocked. The scale of devastation in Gongshan illustrates the overwhelming force of flooding in urban and rural settings alike. Discussing the unprecedented rainfall in Zheng City experienced its heaviest rainfall on record, with Huaqian County recording over 250 millimeters in a single day. This triggered dozens of landslides and debris flows, burying or damaging more than 200 road sections. Vehicles were stranded in floodwaters, and power and communication systems failed. The paralysis of transportation and utilities in Zheng City reveals the cascading effects of extreme weather on urban infrastructure. Exploring the flooding in Lobo Township, streets transformed into raging rivers, flooding shops and homes. Markets shut down as power lines fell, plunging districts into darkness. Repair crews worked tirelessly in the rain to restore services, but the township was left buried in mud, broken pavement, and ruined equipment. The resilience of residents and workers in Lobo Township shines through, even as they face daunting recovery efforts. Summarizing the widespread infrastructure damage across Yunnan, critical infrastructure buckled under the flood's intensity. Bridges collapsed into swollen rivers, highways split apart, and mountain roads were buried under debris. Power outages spread as transmission lines fell, and communication towers toppled, leaving remote villages disconnected for days. This widespread collapse highlights the urgent need for robust infrastructure to withstand future disasters. Addressing the agricultural and economic consequences, Yunnan's agriculture sector suffered immense losses. Terraced fields were drowned or buried by landslides, destroying crops like rice, maize, and vegetables. Irrigation systems shattered, and livestock pens and storehouses were damaged, raising concerns about food security. Tourism, a key economic driver, ground to a halt as mountain trails closed and guest houses emptied. The economic fallout underscores the long-term challenges of rebuilding livelihoods in the region. Detailing the government's response to the crisis, authorities acted swiftly, allocating 30 million yuan to repair roads, rebuild bridges, and restore water systems. Emergency shelters were established for displaced residents, and crews worked around the clock to clear highways and restore power. These efforts reflect a coordinated response to mitigate the disaster's impact, though the scale of reconstruction remains a monumental task. Reflecting on the broader implications of the floods in Yunnan demonstrate the devastating power of water to reshape landscapes and disrupt lives. As the waters recede, the province faces months of rebuilding and the critical task of preparing for future floods. The resilience of Yunnan's communities, coupled with strategic recovery efforts, will be key to restoring the region's vitality. Encouraging viewer engagement with the report. Thank you for exploring this detailed report on Yunnan's floods. For more insights into nature's most powerful events, like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated. Your support helps us deliver clear, informative content. Stay safe, and we'll meet you in the next video.